What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. And this is something I've been wanting to record for a while. It's what I think is probably one of the best everyday cameras you can have. And that's the Leica Q3. I've owned this camera for about 6 months. I got it brand new in February. Went down to a local camera store here in the Bay Area called Camera West, based out of Walnut Creek. And I made a pre-order for this in November of 2023. At the moment, I knew the back orders were just horrible. Some folks saying that they would wait 6 months. I ended up just in December So what I did instead is I ended up buying a used Q2 in December for actually a pretty decent price. I think I paid about $3,400 for it at the time. And then after using that for about 3 months, the camera store hits me up saying, hey, we have a camera coming in. Would you be interested in buying it? Sure. So I picked the camera up in February, decided to sell the Q2 for basically the same price that I paid. And since then, this camera has been with me, and I practically bring it with me about 90% of the time. I've done a lot between portrait shoots in studio, outdoor shoots with flash, even just natural lights. And everywhere I go to do travels, I've gone to Mexico with this camera, Panama, Costa Rica, New York, and Arizona. And I've never been disappointed by the result that I get out of this camera. Now, one thing is, it is a 24 fixed focal length lens on there. So there is something about that I actually enjoy the mindset of, I don't have to think about any interchangeable lenses I need to bring with me on a trip or even on a photo shoot. 28 millimeters it's wide, but for me, for my use cases, I actually prefer that. With this camera having a 60 megapixel sensor, you get that ease of being able to crop in onto any image. I've been doing a lot of just walking around shooting here in Oakland with this camera, and just being able to just punch in with the crop settings. I have no issues with that. So one thing I would like to mention is, before I did own this camera, I did have a Fujifilm X100V that I've owned for about 2 years. I think it was just before it got really hyped up. And honestly, I can say that camera, I just didn't care for it. I didn't like the inconsistency of shooting in different lighting situations. I get it, for a lot of Fuji camera users out there, they love it. I've seen a lot of great images from people that shoot on those X-T5s, even the X100V, even the latest X100VI. And I think if you can understand how the camera works, you love the film simulations, and you like using JPEGs, great. I personally like to edit my photos, so being able to have that flexibility, in which you do with the Fuji files, I just did not see that much flexibility with editing those photos. After owning this Leica, I cannot see myself going back. And if you have the money to spend, I definitely say it is a luxury camera to own. I mean, just looking at it, it just holds this kind of premium look and feel about it. Now, my version, I did add a custom kind of skin wrap on there. And the purpose of that is just to keep the camera protected and while I'm using it, so that way it maintains its kind of prestige look. So I haven't done much to the camera, but I did buy some accessories which I would definitely recommend. A thumb grip on this. I've added a nice soft shutter release button there. And then I've also added a filter on here. And this, I typically keep this on my camera, but this is the Teflon Pro Black Mist 1/4 filter. So it adds this nice kind of like soft kind of touch to it. So, and It's actually served me pretty well on all my photos. So in any use case where I'm shooting where there's a lot of like bright highlights and the photo definitely softens those up. That's pretty much it. And my plan is to hang on to this camera for a while. And surprisingly, the values of these, Leica has marked these up. And part of that could just be because of the high demand for it. So in my case, if I do sell it, maybe like in 2-3 years from now, it might be worth probably $4,000, you know? And for me, I think that's a good investment. I've gotten a few paid shoots from it that I've used this for. Wouldn't say I've shot enough on it to get the total return back from it, but it's also just been a joy just using it as a hobbyist photographer and use it as a travel camera. And I honestly have no regrets about it. So thanks for sitting here hearing me rambled on about this camera. I might do another video on this for shooting portraits. That is what I primarily do shoot. And then I might do another video on this for demonstrating how I use this for street photography. So if you're interested on that or you want to check out some of my other videos, please subscribe, look through what I've uploaded in the past. And again, thanks for watching.